Good morning, welcome in. I'm Melinda, and this is the Happy Place Garden. Today, I thought we would do a little different video. I thought we could do kind of a day in the life of how I enjoy my garden. I'm a realtor for my job, and so I have a fairly flexible schedule. And today is a Monday, so usually Mondays are kind of my day to catch up with my house chores and my garden chores. You know, I usually wake up kind of checking my work emails and sending out you know, listings and responding to messages, and I get that taken care of, and then kind of do my home chores, and then usually I try to spend some time in my garden if we have a nice day. And today it's sunny, which is great. We're expecting some rain about 2 o'clock this afternoon, so I thought I would try to get a little bit done. I don't have any major tasks I want to do today, but I thought maybe I'd just take you along and kind of show you the little maintenance kind of chores that I do. So I thought that might be kind of fun. What's your schedule like with your gardening? Do you mostly have to do it on the evenings or weekends? Comment below and let me know how you spend your time in your garden. And before I forget, if you enjoy this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see all the latest, and click that notification button. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and that way I know if you like this kind of content or not. You can also comment down below. Comments are always appreciated. Thanks so much. So usually the first thing I do is early in the morning before I even get dressed. Usually I come out here in my robe and pajamas and just stick my boots on, and I grab my slug scissors, which I go on slug patrol. So we are in the Pacific Northwest. We are zone 8 here. We get a ton of rain except for in July and August, September. Otherwise, we're pretty wet, and we get a lot of slugs and snails. And so I go on slug patrol first thing in the morning and see what I can find. Lately, so far this season, we have not had that many slugs, just some babies. I think because we've had such a cold spring, we haven't had that many come out yet. So my son, I usually bring him with me because he's lower to the ground, and so he does better at finding those little baby slugs. So we'll start with that, and then we've had a really bad rodent issue this year with voles and moles. Well, voles, moles, mice, rats. And so I've been setting some traps, and I've gotten several voles out of the same hole, and lots of field mice, which we're on 5 acres, and we have a ton of rodents. So we did not have a very cold winter, so I'm concerned that this spring will just have so many rodents, just an a windy day today, an overabundance of rodents. So I don't feel bad keeping some of them in check, just because we're on the 5 acres and there's just so many here. So here is my first trap. I have a little nursery pot over the top, and this is a rat trap. Have yet to catch a rat in it. I think mostly the voles and moles are in here. And here you can see the damage that the voles and mice have been doing. They've been eating my carex, and there's a tunnel there. I had a trap here, caught a few mice, no voles. And then there's another tunnel under there, which I haven't caught any for a while. So I'm looking for any slugs in the yard. Not seeing any so far, which is good. Our pond area, you can see here's some more vole tunnels back in there. They're eating my sea thrift. This is our pond area. Sorry I'm going so fast, just walking through. And this, if you're wondering, the golden chain tree here was leaning, so we have that braced to try and prevent it from falling into the pond. And here is the trap that I have been catching a ton of voles and mice. And we have another one. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm not even sure what that guy is. He's not a vole.
I think it's a shrew.
So I just reset the trap, and I've been putting sun butter as bait. They need to be redone, but I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm catching them even without proper bait in them. And then we'll head over to the other traps, which I caught, I think, a mouse the other day over here. Let's see. Nope, nothing there, but you can see how they've been eating my hosta. We got one here. Whoop. The trap moved, but nothing ate it. But I need to rebait them. We'll leave it for now. So then usually after that, I kind of do a walk around the perimeter looking for slugs. Just checking on my new plantings. Thinking about what I want to plant in my open spaces, like right here and here. This is the new planting bed, which I'm going to be seeding some hollyhock and foxglove back in the back here. But I'm going to check, actually I'll bring you guys along for that. I was going to use a meat thermometer, or excuse me, instant read thermometer, and see what my soil temperatures are. We've had such a cold spring that I'm not sure what the soil temperature is. It just has not warmed up yet. Next week is our last frost date, but we have no freezing temperatures in the forecast. So depending on the soil temperature, I'm thinking I might start some seeds sooner than later. So we'll check that. But here's a panorama view. There's our creek down there. I love sunny mornings coming out. I'm just kind of hanging out. There's our big giant burn pile right here. Got lots to do in there. I'll show you real quick here our project. This is affectionately known as our pond project. I will probably do another video on showing the progress going backwards. But we are planning on doing some flagstone walkway here. My husband does the hardscape, and then I plant it and maintain, do the weeding. So where this black plastic is, this will all be flagstone underneath our pergola. So flagstone through here, and then this will be flagstone patio. I'm hoping to have, take you back here, in the corners, like in this area and the other side over here, like in this area, have it be planting. But my husband and I are kind of arguing a little bit about that. And he wants to put in a brick fireplace or stone fireplace here at some point, make kind of a pizza oven. But that will be later down the road. For now, we're gonna do flagstone. So we're still thinking about that and working on the budget, and then eventually when that's done, I'll be able to plant more in this area and over here where we have wood chips down just to keep the weeds suppressed and to start working on soil. The dirt here was just some free fill dirt, which is mostly rocks, concrete, sand. It's not good stuff at all. It's very compacted. So I'm gonna have to work hard at getting this able to be planted. The soil down here, we brought this in, compost and a premium garden mix. So hopefully it will do okay. I didn't get it soil tested or anything, so we'll see how the plants fare. In this area, this is like our little rock mountain, is kind of what I call it. I've planted it with some creeping phlox down there, some other plants here. These were some Lithidora that I transplanted because they got way too leggy and brown. They don't look so good. I'm probably gonna have to pull those out, but I try to give plants some time before I put them on the compost heap, because you never know. So I'm still working on this area as well. And this is part of the pipes for the pond, and that will get spray painted black, I believe. My husband's gonna do that, but we have to wait for a non-rainy day, some dry weather, and it doesn't happen very often in spring here. So, but here's some of the flagstone. We've got some pieces that we had for another project, so we're hoping to maybe get some more of this. I think it will be really pretty with our gazebo and our pergola. Okay, here's the little maintenance thing I frequently come in and do, is we have this really tall canary reed grass that forms these runners and big root system, and I'm trying to get rid of it. So I try to pull it out, which may not be the best method, but that's part of the little maintenance weeding kind of things we gardeners do as we're walking through. Here's another area of blackberry that is overgrown. We had it cut down several years ago. It's an area that goes down to the creek, and it would be nice to reclaim this area as well sometime. So when I'm out of projects to do, maybe that's something I will try to tackle. Still not seeing any slugs. Now this area is my son's new garden that we had some dirt brought in and just dumped it here because it was a low spot. And he has been having some fun digging holes and doing construction projects, a lot of his toys and things, and found items. He found a bunch of these bricks and decided to make a little kind of oven thing, which I have it covered in plastic so it doesn't get wet, but we had a little fire out here the other day and roasted hot dogs and marshmallows. It was really pretty fun. So been harvesting compost from my compost bins over there, and filling my planter box, the planter boxes for MacGregor's garden here. Maybe make an arch. I was thinking for this area here, like some sort of arch. I'm gonna do mostly like strawberries. I've got 2 blueberry plants for him, and I was thinking of doing carrots and planting some other vegetables and things that he likes to eat. So I thought it would be kind of a fun space for him. Checking on my lilac, and I threw some sweet alyssum seed in here. That was really old seed, and ooh, we might have maybe got one to germinate right there. Maybe, or they could just be weeds. There's another little one right here. That would be fun if we get some to come up. We'll see. Oh, and we also had little mud dauber, or what those things are called, digging in there. Looking forward to seeing this bloom in a few more weeks. Here's some aster that I transplanted from some other spots. I got these, they were on the clearance rack last year. Cute little purple flowers. I kept the tag because I'm horrible at remembering plants' names. And then I transplanted some of the sea thrift, divided some of those over, some of them by the pond, put them over here. And that was just a few days ago, though. So far, so good, though. Looking okay. This one's got some new growth. These are looking further along. And grabbing a few weeds along the way. Always weeding. Back over behind the pond in our little shade garden. And there is an astilbe back here, which I am surprised it made it. This was gifted to me by a garden friend. And this area is far too dry for it. So I am going to transplant it to a moister area. little root ball. Oops, looks like maybe 2 plants. I think I'm gonna put it over here in the new planting area between this Hydrangea macrophylla, which should be pink or purple flowers, and this little skimmia. This area definitely stays more moist. It gets morning sun, but it should get hopefully enough afternoon shade. I have a lot of wood chips and some composted horse manure in here that you can see, and there's compost in here as well, but the dirt is some of that free fill dirt that's really sandy, and it just holds the water like crazy in here. So the stilby should like this better. Don't go too deep there. Root balls, just rather shallow. Get that all mixed up. This little teeny tiny one that kind of fell apart. Let's see if we can get that to stay alive. And I'm kind of lazy in watering things in. We just get so much rain here in the spring. I'm not often good about watering things in. So hopefully they'll be fine. If I remember later, I'll get over here and water it. I've never grown a stilby before, so this is kind of an experiment. Like I said, I got this plant from a friend of mine and had it in a spot that it was not happy with, being that it was too dry. So I didn't get any flowering from it last year. So we'll see if it likes this spot, and if it does well, maybe I'll get a few more. So I might wait to purchase some new plants until I see how it does. So this is another area that I've been working on in our garden, revamping around the patio. And this corner was all grass, which I'm doing that cardboard method and putting some compost and dirt on top of it. Had planter boxes down over here, so the soil was a lot higher, so I reclaimed a lot of that dirt and put it over here along with that compost. So it still has to break down the grass. I did cut in around the edge and got rid of the sod around the edges of the area. But the cardboard and sod are still underneath, so I still have the things. I've got 2 hydrangeas there and a tricolored beech that I'm going to plant, and a few boxwood, and then I'm still deciding what else I'm going to fill in here, so that'll be fun. But I need to get those planted, but like I said, I'm waiting until the cardboard is broken down. Actually, here I moved the pot and you can see the cardboard is still here. So it needs to get soft enough to where I can cut through it with my spade or shovel. So I still need to get the boxwood planted. My husband helped me yesterday get these pavers set so that I can put this arch on there. It fell down in a windstorm, so he needs to weld the top of it before I can get it finalized. But I need to get the clematis out of the ground, get those moved. They were in here as well in different spots, and so I'm going to get those planted today. I'll get one plant for there and the other one planted for there. So, and then more boxwood over here. Maybe I'll do that today. We'll see how the weather is doing. It's pretty windy, but more over there. And then I put a little step stone here that I had. People are going to be hopping this hedge, and so best to put a stone. I might end up getting a bigger, like 16 inch. This is just a 12-inch stone that I had. Wondering about this. This is a pot that I had just on the patio. It wasn't on a riser, and so with all the rain, it just got completely waterlogged. And we had rain again last night, so there's more water on top. But I put the plastic on to try and keep the rain from getting in the pot so it can dry out enough so I can move it.
I'm placing some pots to get ready for some annuals.
Just gonna check my Snowball Viburnum. We've been battling viburnum leaf beetle for a few years here in the Northwest. So usually come by and check for any signs of little larvae. I did do an early spray. I'll need to come back in and do another one. But so far, we're looking good, I think. We've got some little flower sets on them, so that will be a pretty show. Here's some ajuga that is some bronze-leafed ajuga that's getting ready to bloom. It'll be pretty here. And there's some speedwell behind. Pretty area. Here's my knockout rose. That's a standard. And I am not a rose gardener. And the Pacific Northwest isn't a great spot for roses, being that we're so wet. And you can see here, we've already got some black spot in there on the stems. I did spray it once already. It'll need to continue being sprayed, I'm sure. And looks like we've got an issue here already. Not sure what that is going on. But they're such pretty flowers, but I don't know. I was hoping to get a climbing rose for my arbor, but I just think they're too much work, and I don't like the thorns. And here are other signs of spring for us, is the dreaded horsetail. A word of caution, careful if you get free fill dirt. If you don't know where it's coming from, it can bring in the horsetail, and you can never get rid of it. It's like the dinosaur weed. And these, you can see where it's brown. These are the spore type stems. So they'll spread seed. These are just the vegetative ones. And I usually come in and just kind of pull. You have a method of getting rid of horsetail that works fantastic that you can use underneath other plants, please comment below and let me know. I have yet to figure out how to completely get rid of it other than constantly pulling. I've tried treating the area with lime, and nothing really seems to work. So if you have a foolproof way, please let me know. Comment below.
In this segment, I'm digging a hole so that I can plant El Presidente Clematis that I dug out from another spot as I'm redoing this patio area. And this hole is really challenging. There's a lot of rock and hard pan, so I needed to get my pickaxe out to break it up and be able to dig it out. I'm adding some granulated fertilizer to the hole before I plant the clematis. The little archway here, gate, you can see my clematis is too far
to be able to climb up it. So I'm going to redig and move it a little bit closer. So it's the same process, just need to redo. Unfortunately, that happens. I should have thought that through better. Okay, so this should be better. I moved it, about 3 or 4 inches maybe closer. So that should be able to climb up my little arch here better. But I did notice that there are some old, not producing stalks here, or vines. What would you call these? I don't know, vines, I guess, with the clematis. So I'm gonna clip those off. Make sure there's not any live parts on them. Sometimes it's good to leave some of them for support, but I'm gonna clip a lot of these out. Make it a little more better looking. I'm not sure how this will fare after digging it up and transplanting it. These stems can be pretty fragile. Might lose this one. We'll see how it does. But it might send up some new ones as well. It's already got some flower buds going on, which is great. This is La Presidente Clematis, which is a purple bloomer. One of my favorites. And it's a double bloomer. Like, it will bloom again. If you cut it back, it will flush some more blooms later in the summer, like in August. So the first flush will come in June, and then you'll get another flush after you trim it back. Pretty plant. Please make it. Okay, I got the clematis planted on both sides. This one over here is also La Presidente or El Presidente. And it's got lots of nice young new shoots coming up. Much easier to dig on this side. The other side had the runoff, I don't know what you call it. From when they did the concrete patio, they call it slag or something like that. It had all this gravel that they brought in and some of the runoff from the concrete. So it was harder digging this hole. But I got it in, got it moved, and hopefully they'll start climbing the arch here, this little gated arch. And my husband still needs to get it welded on the top where it broke in the windstorm. But that will happen soon. And then next, we need to get the boxwood in the ground. Not sure if I'll be able to get that done today. Need to go back inside and do a few more work things, and then we'll see what the rest of the afternoon brings. Okay, I wanted to get out here before I forgot with an instant read thermometer and check my soil temperature, which it says it's 60 degrees just in the air. It keeps going down. So I don't know how instant this thermometer is and how accurate it is, but I'm gonna stick it in the soil where I want to plant my hollyhock seeds. And we'll kind of watch it and see what it does. It's gone down to 53 and stayed there for about 30 seconds. So I'm thinking that's good. I'm gonna try another spot. This is a more shaded spot behind a boxwood, just about 3 feet down from where I was. But this spot says it's 49, which is still pretty good. I think the seeds need to be in about 50-degree soil to germinate. So I think should be good. Yay! So the weather has changed. I got my work stuff done and came back out, and it's cold and windy and the rain's on the way. So I think I'm going to call it a wrap for today. So thanks for joining me in the Happy Place Garden, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Happy gardening.